I almost forgot they were here. I totally would have ran all over the world.
We've been through a lot, haven't
But then I remembered we did something here.
Mirage, how is Amina?
Yeah, but that's why I like the other crafting systems better.
this way?
But like this one, it's easy to craft multiple things at the same time, unlike the other ones.
Amina?
So that's where like there's kind of a perk to it. Because you can sit there and be like, okay, I want to craft a bunch of blacksmithing stuff. And the other thing I don't like is the fact that this uses a ton of money as opposed to a ton of items. Because you don't really need a lot of items per se as you need money, because it'll be like, okay, I'm going to be doing a random crafting thing that's going to cost me 6,000 full for every time I try and do it.
Castle.
But it'll be like, okay, I failed. Okay, I failed. Okay, I failed. And it keeps using the same amount of money, but then it'll be like, okay, I did good. And like if it keeps doing good, then you'll create more than one of something. So that's also better about it, but at the same time, it will like, once you start to get like the really good crafting, it'll be like, okay, it's going to cost like, yeah, 100%, Alex. Like sometimes you'll get later on in the game, it's like, okay, every one level of this or like one round of this is going to cost you like $60,000. So it's like, okay, I failed, 60 grand. Okay, next round, 60 grand. And every time, and the same thing, that every time you fail, you also, what was this? Every time you fail, you also degrade the quality of the item you're making. Because there's like a little, like there's the big bar at the top, so it's like every time it goes wrong, then it, like, you make a crappier item. Unlike the other one where it's like, either you fail or you get it. Like, if you get it, fucking great. If you don't get it, unfortunately not great. But like at the same time, you can do what I used to do, and any time before I started crafting, I saved the game. That way I didn't use my crafting material. And it was much easier to get like some high grade stuff, because it was either, you usually had like a list of how many things off to the side. Yes, yes. Items are always great, but I always tend to train so heavily that I tend to like max out a lot of my items, like aside from like some of the ones that are you can get from alchemy early on. Like most time I'm picking up fucking boxes and it's like, yeah, you can't pick that up. New characters trained for the blacksmithing. I can't remember if you can or not. But in this game, are you able to train your stats for your main characters for the crafting? I'm not 100% certain on that right now because I haven't played this in forever. Like, I know the main part of it was that you had to, like, find the characters that were really good at stuff. But I don't think you do, like, you upgrade your stats like the other one. That's what I'm sort of remembering. I feel like this one is, like, heavy oriented on finding other characters to do, like, to help with the crafting. Volumes or books? Oh, okay. I think I got some books recently. Like, I know there's certain books. Valuables, materials. Like, the neglected textbook and stuff gives, like, the homing. But, like, the only books I've found so far, I believe, are, like, the ones... Half-Eaten Worm Tome. Common attack symbols. Are, like, for offensive stuff. Yeah, like, everything I remember finding so far in books has just been for offensive capabilities and nothing for crafting. There we go. And I remember when 2 was like that, when you had to go into the shops and find and buy the books from them so that you could get like the like game that giving crafting bonuses. Oh, okay. Much later. Okay, that makes sense. But I remember like 2 where like you used to go into the shops and be like, okay, I'm gonna learn combat stuff, or I'm gonna learn crafting stuff level 1 for this, or reading comprehension level 1 for that. And then it'd be like, now you have these specific skills because you learned them from these books, and now you can upgrade them. But they did that a little different in the way the remaster was.
I promised. You wouldn't.
But I enjoyed the way they did it in the remaster because it was just like, you have all the skills, you can put points in them, and now the scores that you used to get from the books, they're just quests that they can give you for crafting things. Cliff's fist weapon can be made by Cliff and Crafting. Oh, yeah.
Dion, that was my wish too.
I'm glad my son.
Can only be made by Cliff, which makes sense. I feel like that should be like kind of like a guarantee where it's like, to make the best weapon for somebody, they should have to be in, you know, whatever category for crafting. I knew he was gonna die.
This can't be happening. Dion! Doctor!
Doctor, the man has died. Why did you bowl cuts everywhere.
No! After all this time! You had your whole lives ahead of you!
Did they really? They were kinda in the middle of war,
This
guys.
is all my fault! Amina?
Like there's a giant fucking war going on, guys. I don't think they, like, you know, depending on what happens. Like this is not your fault. You're not even touching her. Console. Personal space. Boundaries. It's like, I won't go inside your bubble. The bubble will be kept intact. I find it funny how some of their like costume designs and stuff, there's only certain things that are sticking out. Like obviously the thing for his zipper up there and it moves around. But then like some other characters, you can see that on their like outfits, it's obvious that some of those things should not be like just stationary objects.
It's all my fault. This never
Yeah, I'm already done the copper mine part.
No, it's not your fault.
isn't
We
it
just
so?
finished doing the
Edie came here for
the
me.
little war part where the giant red ship came down and, you know, started fucking everybody up, and then he went haywire and used his weird magical powers.
Look, I know you know something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, fate activated.
The Vendini. What are they?
The Vendini, what are they? Well, it's a spaceship. I guess there's no lying anymore.
Now, anyway. Those guys, the Vendini, they...
We've got trouble! Another one of those weapons has appeared in the sky!
Damn it!
What?
Damn.
Damn. I love how he's like, you can tell he's angry, but just kind of like disappointed at the same time. Where she's like,
Your Majesty,
shit.
why are you still here? Please, you've got to get to a safe place right away.
get in the safeness.
Lately, it seems that hiding does not help.
The hiding doesn't help. These things can just like blow up shit.
You know what that thing is, do you not?
I do. Will I tell you though? That's a question that you might get answered.
No, it's not.
Then what is it? What is a Vendini?
The Vendini are after me. If they
That
catch
needed a
me,
good
they'll-
remake. See, I'm liking that they're doing remakes, but I find like a lot of the gaming scene right now, there's too much in the way of remakes. Is that's all they're focusing their time on, and they're not getting anything new out. Like, don't get me wrong, some of Some of them I think 100%. Like the remake of 2 was great. I'm loving that they're doing a remake of Star Ocean 1 and 2. Because Star Ocean 1, or not Star Ocean 1 and 2, Suikoden 1 and 2. They're doing a remake of those. And like those are like really high up on my RPG list.
Anger won't solve
But like at the same time, they're either doing like remakes or remasters. Like how many times has like Skyrim been re-put out? And like don't get me wrong, every time they put it out, they know it's gonna make them money, so that's why they fucking do it. But like stuff like that, or how many upgrades to Horizon Zero Dawn have they done?
It's at
Like
the thought.
they're just getting like a little bit ridiculous with it. I could understand if it was like a full fucking remaster, because a lot of the times they've been doing that, it's literally almost like a brand new game. Like the Final Fantasy VII remake, you could literally, like, don't get me wrong, like it's very, like there's a lot of, they've added a lot of stuff to the story and a lot of stuff to it.
Cliff.
Like the underlying story is obviously the same, but there's so much they've added to it that it's basically a brand new game. Yeah, like, and that's the big thing about Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not even that old. And they're just like, here's a re-release. Look, we've upgraded it for PS4. Oh, we've upgraded it for PS4 Pro. Look, we've upgraded for PS5. Look, we've upgraded for PS5 Pro. Look, we've done an upgrade for PC. It's like, why? It's like, the game is gorgeous. Like, what are you really upgrading? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a money grab. They're like, I know there's a lot of games where, like, it'll be like, here's an upgrade for PS5, and they give it to you for free, and it's like, that's fucking sick. But then, like, I think the Horizon Zero Dawn upgrade for PS5 is an extra $15. And I'm like, I've already platinumed that game. It's like, why am I going to pay you an extra $15 just so it looks slightly better? Like, I'm good. The graphics are fucking pristine. I think I'll leave it alone. But like the same for Skyrim. Like, not even GTA 5. Like, fucking came out on the PS3, PS4, and then they're like, PS4 Pro upgrade, PS5 upgrade, PS5 Pro upgrade, and it's just like, leave it the fuck alone. Like, what are you doing? You're adding so many things to it, like, you're trying to upgrade it to these new specs that you're probably causing more, like, crashes to happen. It's like, because, like, obviously, all these, like, especially if it's on, like, PS3, PS4, PS5, most of them are gonna, like, be able to interact with each other. Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't always do that. But it's like, you know, what's the point in doing that now? Like, you're just, you're not even making it look a lot better. It's like the smallest minute detail. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm an artist, and like I've been playing video games since around when video games first started. Like, I think
What's going on?
drive the way. Not a problem, not a problem. Hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks for the follow.
So I take it you're not all
But like, I've been playing, like, my first console was the regular Nintendo, but like I've played fucking the Atari, I've played the Super Nintendo, the Sega. Like, I've been there
But you're mad.
doing games
I said that is enough.
since when
Majesty.
PC, like the old PCs were like the first real, I guess, like, quote unquote gaming consoles for the most part. So it's just like, you know, you gotta learn when to kind of give it a rest. Like, I can understand when a game is like, you know, 20 plus years old. Fine, give it a remaster or like fucking revamp the whole thing and give it a full remake. But so many of the games that they keep remastering or remaking are just games that have come out in the last, you know, 5, maybe 10 years. Or if they're doing like a remaster or an upgrade, they've already remastered and upgraded it like in the last 5 or 10 years. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, Skyrim, and fucking GTA 5 to be an example.
If I may call you fate.
Oh, all right then.
Maria, please tell me what's happening. Okay, let's get into this.
Why are they after me?
They want to alter people's genetics. That's all it's about. Don't worry about it.
Relax. There's no need to rush things.
Relax. What do you mean, relax? They're fucking shooting at us.
Didn't they?
They did. Just
Yup,
once.
he made a
They're
big
stronger than
explosion.
expected.
He was stronger than
Destructive
expected.
capabilities are far beyond yours.
What? Are we related? You have blue hair too.
Nah, the whole thing was completely wiped from his mind.
He just kind of went, oh, explosion,
What the
unconscious.
hell are you guys talking about?
You made a giant explosion with your brain fungus.
First, I have some new information. It's not exactly good news.
But like, don't get me wrong, there's like games that 100% need like remakes, but like they're, or at least remasters. Some of them they're starting to get to.
Professor Linegaard was captured by
Like
the
Star
Vendini.
Ocean 2, for example, the Suikoden series. I'd love to see them do even just like a remaster of like Legend of Dragoon or something like that. But there's like very well received like older games that they could like easily make a friggin'
Sophia?
remaster of and make tons of money off of. But like I find a lot of the times when they do a remake,
You really have no
they
idea,
change
do
so
you?
much of it that it might as well have just been a brand new game.
Fine.
Like, don't get me wrong, like I love Final Fantasy VII and I like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Forbidden.
You're the
He researched and designed
10 or
a genetically
15th person to say
modified
that after
forbidden
today there, Randy.
Galactic Federation.
They're like, oh, this is my favorite game, or like, this is my second favorite game, or second favorite of like the series, and it's
Other
like,
than those involved,
really?
Only the top levels of the Federation government knew anything.
But like, there's so many old school games that need to be at least remastered,
Guinea pigs.
not necessarily remade, because I find like there's a lot of them they're changing too much of. Like I love, like I said, I love, yeah, post game stuff in Star Ocean is just fucking nuts.
Weapons? You? Guinea pig?
But like the remaster of 7, just they changed too much of it for like to really even consider it Final Fantasy VII anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, like I realize the story is very, very close to the original, but they've added like a lot to it. But like, it's more the gameplay style that kind of irks me a little bit. Shatter. But like going from turn-based combat to like active combat. And don't get me wrong, I realize that's what most games are going for nowadays, is the active combat or like the Souls-like style and like the action adventure. But like when your main series is based around a certain style of combat,
Linegaard and his labs
that's what everybody is expecting.
possess the ability to manipulate the structure
Like, I
of
could
the
understand if they went like a different route
still
with this
become an ordinary girl.
and made a completely different game series and then did that with it, or like did a prequel to 7, like kind of like when they did Crisis Core and changed the combat system around for Crisis Core. Like, perfect. It's not like a remake of the game, or like when they did Dirge of Cerberus. Dirge of Cerberus was another offshoot, and it is Fate Line God. You are correct.
Was you.
Sidekick.
The first subject? What are you talking
Always got to do the sidekick, because you got to make sure you're not getting hit, right?
to me?
I can understand if you
But
didn't
like,
believe me.
where they like, you know, Dirge of Cerberus was a
Telling the truth. Can you explain
like a fucking third-person shooter.
Perhaps that Vendini battle
And then the active combat style was for Crisis Core, but then when they did the remake for 7, and then it's just like, yeah, we're gonna try like kind of like almost a Souls-like style, just without, I guess, like parrying and blocking for the most part.
I know you don't want to admit it.
But I feel like if they wanted to do that, they should have went with the same
Everyone else back from the Vendini
kind of, I
that's
guess,
why he did
thing
what
they
he
did with the Final Fantasy Origin, like the Final Fantasy 1
I can't do it
prequel, where that was like completely standalone. It's a prequel to 1, and then they went and they kind of made it like a Souls-like game, where it was like very, very like dodge this, dodge that, like parry, block kind of thing, as opposed to just like remaking 1 and then doing the same thing. Don't worry, I see you there, Alex. I see you've returned. You can't sneak up on me, friend.
All right, I'll help you.
I pay all the attentions.
Now that we're decided,
But like, just when they remake things, they change too much, I find. Like, I like when they do remasters and then they kind of tweak it.
it doesn't matter if she heard us.
But like, if you're gonna remake something, like, I feel like you need to stick to the source material and not even 100% like keep the story 100% the same. Like, if you're trying to like add to it, like to expand it more, 100% understand that.
Everything else is up to Mario's
But like,
will.
when you take the main aspect of it, like that drew people in for like the gameplay, and then you
We still
warp
have a lot of
that,
problems to deal
that's what I find kind of throws people off. Kind of like where the 7 remake has a lot of minigame stuff. There's a lot to 7,
with. Transport
like the 7 remake.
and warping out will take 5 minutes.
But like, you know, I understand you want to make your game replayable, you want to put some substance into it. Like, I've talked a lot of times where, you know, your game needs to be worth the price it is, and, you know, what's a good standpoint for
With the technology
how much it
available
is
on
versus
display.
how many hours playtime that you have.
Still, we must think of something.
If only fate could control.
Like, aside from multiplayer games, which is a little bit harder to
Control
do,
my power.
because obviously multiplayer games, as long as there's
If we're going to pull this off.
people playing it online, there's always going to be replay value for it, so you can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, let's pay $200 for this game then, since you're going to
I'm not saying we
pour
need to
3,000
break
hours
the
into it.
shield. All we need
But I
to
think
do
there
is
should be
help
like a
define how we
baseline
can
for
more
price
capabilities.
to hours. And like, that's where like it's kind of like up in the air for some things, because like, I think it should be $1 per hour. If you're paying $70 to $80 for a game,
The one.
there should be close to $70, $80 worth of like content to it. Even if it's not like, even if the main storyline is fucking 3 to 4 hours and then you're done, but there's so much extra side stuff that you can throw in, like, you know, all the rest of those hours, 100%. I'd even go like half that, just to, you know, kind of be fair about it, and do it like half an hour per dollar,
Once from before.
and like sit there and be like, okay, so like if this game is worth $80, you should get at least 40 hours of gameplay in there, and I'd be completely happy with that. But like, there's a lot of games coming out where it's like, here's an $80 game, here's 10 hours. Or like, here's an $80 game, and you beat, like, if you're like actually sitting there playing it, it's like, boom, 3 hours done.
Honestly,
And it's just like,
I don't
what do you mean?
understand the situation. One thing I do
Like, my main example for that is
it will cause another
Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, fucking Assassin's Creed Mirage.
that the two of
Assassin's Creed Mirage, I love the game, I love the gameplay, but like, all total,
We did promise the
full map completion, like everything found and story complete, just over 20 hours. And it's like, you're paying $80, $90 for that? What? That's like ridiculous. Missing the... What do you mean missing the enemies? Are we talking about Mirage again? I'm very confused, Princess. That attack goes right by them. Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna... There's a sidekick, and then it's just like... That's one of the things that kind of bothers me a lot about the combat for this game, is there's so many times where I'm going to hit them with something, and they just kind of like... Doot, 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 and you miss them completely. Like, a lot of times, like, I start from far back, and I do Fate's big, like, sword uppercut. And then it's like, okay, time to hit them, and they've just, you know, completely gone. Why is everyone going after Cliff? But at the same time, it's like, I find when they fall to the ground, it's really stupid too. Because they'll be, like, you'll be swinging at somebody, hit them in the air, hit them again, and then the second they hit the ground, you can't do any damage at all. Even when they're trying to stand up, and it's like, why? Like, they're right in front of me. Why can't I hit you? Or like, Cliff and his aerial assault. How many times that misses. Because all the buildings look alike. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know how many times I've been, like, going through this and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go right now? Is it this building? Was I in this building yet? Like, that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I was trying to, like, pay attention to them talking, but at the same time, like, I gotta look over to, like, the chat, and it's just like, the talking is over. Did I miss an important, like, highlighted bubble as to where I'm supposed to go? And it's like, okay, let's run around to all the rooms and check now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there was, I was trying to figure out where to go. I think it was not yesterday, because I was doing Final Fantasy 12 yesterday. And it just got to the point where I was like, okay, let's figure out where I'm supposed to go. And I ended up going to, like, this dungeon thing and getting through it, doing all kinds of the puzzles to get where I was supposed to go. And then it's just like, I got to the boss at the end of it, and it's like, oh, this thing. And, like, they start talking, it's a little bit of a cutscene, and it's like, I'm not even supposed to fucking be here. Like, this is not where I'm supposed to be at all. Why am I here? So then I got out, and all it was I needed to... Hello, dog. 10-2 as well. I'm currently doing all of the Star Ocean series and all of the Final Fantasy series in a row. Those are the 2 games I'm currently doing for stream. Or, series, not games. We just beat 12 yesterday. And obviously we're on Star Ocean 3 right now. Till the end of time. I'm not doing any of the offshoots. Like, no sequels, no prequels. Just because, like, I want to get through the main core games right now. Especially for Final Fantasy. Because I have 16, but I only started to play it, and I was starting to do it on stream. I'm in a little bit in agreement there. I find, like, especially, like, the last 2, I find there's a lot to it. 100%. That right there. Have you played the Star Ocean 2 remaster? Because the Star Ocean 2 remaster, if 1 and 2 are your favorite, pick up the remaster on the PS. It's on, I think, everything the day it came out. And it's, yeah, nice. Like, just the quality of life improvements that 2 had were fucking beautiful. Like, Star Ocean 2 is 100% in my top 5 all-time RPGs. I was actually doing that list earlier today. And I've come to the conclusion that it's, and in no specific order, because I don't know if I can really order them, because I love them so much. But there's Star Ocean 2, Suikoden 2, Final Fantasy Tactics, Digimon World 3, and, oh, where was the other one? And Chrono Trigger. Don't know how I almost forgot fucking Chrono Trigger. And I find it hilarious that 90% of my fucking top 5 are all Square games. But Square has always been my my go-to company Like Square's, like especially RPG wise, they've usually been at the forefront of things, especially graphics wise. Like after coming from Super Nintendo for like Final Fantasy VI, and then upping to 7, and then the giant jump from the graphics from 7 to 8, and then again from 8 to 9 and 9 to 10. Like the gameplay after 9, like gameplay and story-wise, I find kind of dipped off a little bit. I know there's a lot of people that love 10.
Said they would explain the situation.
Obviously 11 is an MMO, so they kind of had to tweak that a little bit.